Hello everyone, and welcome to the Inter-University Pokémon Society Team Tour 2023 recap with myself, Takua. And it's the first week of playoffs. Well, it has been the first week of playoffs, quite late into the first week of playoffs. It is currently Thursday. So, has been a few days, but we haven't had that many games played this week anyway. It's been pretty Sunday heavy having gone into playoffs, at least for the first week. And I imagine that'll still be the case this week as well for all the games to come. But we're not going to be talking that much about this week, more rather about how last week has been going. So we'll get on to that in a second. But before we start off with the games, we'll take a look at the standings. Who's got through this week? Who unfortunately hasn't? Their journey, of course, has come to an end. And of course, for everyone in the regular season, once again, I hope you all enjoyed the inaugural team tour. Has been pretty fun for this year and the year before I've been playing in it. And here's to more of them, I think, is the best way to go about it. So, docs, hello. Round of 16, that's all done now. Only one team technically got all 5 wins, but this is technically an FFW on UCL's part. But moving forward to quarters, we've got Cambridge Crawdonts. Unfortunately, Lancaster didn't make it through that round. Cambridge Crawdonts having been pretty damn strong, let's say, in the regular season, coming top standings, the first seed you're looking for the tournament favourites, so to speak, just based on regular season performance. And they'll be going up versus St Andrews Annihilates, who took down our reigning champions, the KCL Kingdras, in a tight series there. So it should be quite a series, definitely for sure. It has been, let's say, an upset already, let's say. We'll get to that in a moment. A lot of our games today are coming off of that series, actually, as well. But next is the rest versus the Imperial Infernapes. Infernapes taking that one, and then Visp Queen Mary versus Southampton Shipwreck. Southampton having to be unfortunately knocked out, and this leads us to our first London showdown, London Civil War between Imperial and QM for this week. Next this is I think the series we've all been talking about, and the replays today will showcase that very much so. St Andrews versus Cambridge Camrops, the 3rd seed being taken down by one of the lower seeds, actually. Cambridge, I can't remember exact standings. If we go to team standings, we'll probably be able to find it. There it is, 14th. 3rd and 14th. 14th taking the W there. Maybe not the cleanest series, so to speak, but it is Pokemon after all. And we've got 3 replays between St Andrews and the Camrops to play for you today. Definitely commiserations to St Andrews for having such a great regular season. And maybe a sad way to end it, I'm not sure. Definitely hype for some viewers. Maybe, it's up to you to decide whether, what you think about these games, but we'll get to that shortly. Next series, Durham versus MUCL. Durham, another pretty dominant team in the regular season, get taken down by MUCL. MUCL, of course, now going up against Cambridge Camrops. Definitely quite a good showing from them. We'll see if they manage to keep us up in the next week to come. Then we have the Bristol Broomers versus the Liverpool Lytton. Bristol moving forward, fighting LSE, my own team, who narrowly beat the Shamblers in our series. So those are your 8 teams in quarters. We'll see how that one goes. Certainly will be a set of matchups to behold. Very strong teams. If you made it this far, you've definitely done pretty well. Had some pretty good drafts. I have to say, level has definitely been higher this year, but of course that's to be expected. More teams, more experience, I imagine, more and more people getting to draft, which is a lovely thing. Definitely something to be very enjoyable, and in a team tour environment, very fun to be able to, well, simply put, being able to play with friends in a competitive environment together. But at least in my eyes, it's fun, and I hope everyone else is doing the same thing, enjoying the team tour so far, as they should. But I think that's enough about these matchups for now. We'll see how these finalise come Sunday. Come the next few days, there'll be an increasing number of games. But I think now is the time to move on to the replays. And we'll start off with Paldea decks, as per usual. Unfortunately, Rash cannot make it today, so it will be me, alas, by my lonesome. And this was at the point where, let's set this out. So, this is Sandshrews versus Camerupt. We all expect Sandshrews to do pretty well here, having had, as I mentioned, a 30 regular season. If I'm not mistaken, LC and not doubles wasn't secured. I believe it was LC and Napdex was secured at this point. So the Camerupts are 2 up, and for the Sandshrews to win the week, they had to win all 3 games from here. And this was, I think, the first one of these played. So big stakes on the line for Rash. We'll see how this one goes. Lead off, of course. This is the big old terrain team. This team does have a Pincurchin, did not decide to bring it. Still got 3 of these Quark Drive Mons. Very, very scary. Potentially a lot of breaking power between Hooper, Moth, and Lando. Huge amount of special offense going into this team, which means Wo-Chen right here with the right Terra type. You've already seen that pop off in the regular season. I think we all should remember Grow-Chen. Trap the Torkoal, get those growths off. Definitely did a lot of work there, and I think, if I recall, it's going to do the same in this game. The right Terra type definitely can shut down Cash's game, and we'll get started off on slow speed between Cinderace and Hooper U. Cinderace, of course, being able to outspeed and threaten a U-turn, you kind of just got to get out of that one. Decided not to U-turn, just going to hard switch into the Wo-Chen, not revealing any information there. Wo-Chen pretty happy to go into Vaporeon here, no issues whatsoever. Knockoff, absolutely free click into this team. Nothing really appreciates one. Decided to go into Moth here, maybe thinking it's the best thing to take the knockoff, which it would be because of the Quark Drive. Gets a crit anyway. Moth here able to throw off one attack, get a Terra, as well as the Wo-Chen response. Did not actually go for the Grass Terra Blast, or Energy Ball, I assume that it carried. Which did not go for, and then Wo-Chen gets payback off to net the kill there. Wo-Chen would have managed to net that anyway, no matter what, even if he got the predict on the Terra Water, but pretty hard to do. So Wo-Chen already claiming one. Valiant revealing Taunt, definitely not really what I would expect out of Valiant set. Still don't really know the item off of this just yet. But Taunting Prism, clearly looking to sort something out. Not entirely sure what the Valiant's attempted to do, but it has to come out of the forest, was obviously for Gyro Ball. Poison Jab is just going to knock it straight out of the park. Not much that can be done there. And so Landorus just going to get out, go into Hooper U, attempting to break a Wo-Chen, but I'm not entirely sure if it's very safe for it to do so. This is going to take a knockoff, this is going to take a payback, and I think that's going to be the end of the day. Or it's just going to knock back off. Scarf over for Hooper. Hooper Scarf, of course, helping to account for its pretty bad base 80 speed for a Mon as frail as Hooper is on the physical side. Fairly unideal, but of course huge amounts of power to come back at it. Fortress though, 140 base defense, going to tank that Holocaust up pretty easily. Get the Rocket Helmet chip going to Palafin here very safely. You get the Transform. Wo-Chen going to take anything Vaporeon wants to put out. Just going to Baton Pass in. Should be able to threaten this Wo-Chen here with an Earth Power fairly handedly, I'd imagine. So Florges here, big old special wall, huge amount of Spadef, but gets this with the Earthquake. That is, of course, not Sheer Force boosted, but on hitting on the physical side, Florges is not going to appreciate that. Going to get momentum back up. Florges is pretty weak in here. If it's going to be a Baton Pass coming through, then you should be able to momentum back into something else, but it's the Moonblast, so Iron Treads gets a little bit of pressure straight onto Florges. So right now, being played out fairly well by both sides, but Rash very much in the lead. Treads deciding they need to get the rocks up here, but of course bringing Fortress on the Treads means you can spin immediately, and there is no spin blocker on the side of Cash. Rash instead deciding, well, it's nothing threatening this Mon that's coming in, so I'll just get my rocks up myself. They don't really seem to be bothering me. I've got boots on some Mons, just like this Zapdos right here. Lando's going to come in on Zapdos, so I imagine this is Stone Edge, or trying to threaten it as you're U-turning out. So Palafin comes back in, that's going to threaten Lando out, then you're forced to probably go Vaporeon, which is not ideal. You do get the Wish off, which is nice, but Lando wasn't really that unhealthy in the first place, so not a huge amount gained overall. That's the body slam revealed. Very nice paralysis, huge amount of damage coming. Palafin, as expected. Vaporeon's Fizdef, whilst not terrible, is not particularly good either. It's sort of matched up by the fact that it has base 130 HP. Gonna heal off, no full powers just as of yet. But Palafin not really in too much of an issue here at all. Wo-Chen gonna come back out. can come on this fairly safely, although getting worn down by rocks over time. Wish up. If you want to get a leech seed off, you can. If it's a synthesis, no, which one doesn't get synthesis? One like that. The only ruin mon that actually has reliable recovery is the Chempow. So, which I'm not able to do that just yet. Pretty much just playing the game out as is right now. Cash's way out is basically trying to get enough chip on things for something like a Valiant or a Lando to clean with the base speeds. Gonna be a little bit difficult with Paladin's Jet Punch running around as well, but certainly possible. Big dodge though on the Leech Seed just now. That was actually quite relevant. Would help Wood Shen be able to be a little bit more healthy, but obviously having rocks up on only one side of this field after the Rapid Spin came through was really nice for Cash right here. Rock side, of course, you got the miss earlier, so it's just Karma sort of getting back to you. On that would have been pretty good damage on Fortress, but maybe not too consequential given Fortress's defensive profile. Before I'm going to come in, gets paralyzed. Was probably trying to use Baton Pass there, I imagine. So you just go hard into Treads, which means Wojciech gets a Leech Seed off. Gonna get roughly, I don't know, 12%. Yeah, 13. Yeah, I think the HP numbers are fairly similar here on these two, but into Valiant, gonna be a pretty risky move here depending on what comes through. Knockoff comes through, and that's the leftovers gone. I'm not entirely sure what leftovers Valiant is attempting to accomplish, but at least in that's a kill versus Wojciech very easy. We can Wojciech here, but Wojciech did get the trade on off earlier. Well, more than a trade. I might have to manage to put out a little bit more work with the knockoffs and so on and so forth afterwards. Maybe you could have got back another, maybe like 16% off of Vaporeon's health bar, so. But there you have it. That is just going to be a few gunk shots being clicked. Vaporeon, of course, is just not going to take these very well, and eventually you're just going to get full powered and, well, basically knocked out at that point. So, very, very down momentum. Cash really needs to get some more damage onto these mons, but you can take a look, 100%, 55. I mean, yeah, some aren't as healthy as you might like them, but I don't really think Cinderace cares at this point. This is not choice locked, we already know from the boots, so boots haven't been revealed off of the Stealth Rocks, so no problems there whatsoever. And that is a huge static coming off of Zapdos, and now you're really going to have an issue. You've got two mons paralysed, Treads being a really big one, 106 speed normally, even going to just sack the Hooper there, doesn't want to stay in. As Treads, I think maybe staying in as Treads was one of your better plays, but alas, there you have it. Don't want to get full powered, and I don't even know what exact set it was. You have Stealth Rocks up Rapid Spin. Maybe you don't have the moves to be able to do something. Well, I imagine you should be carrying something for the Zapdos at least, if not momentum, to be able to get out of it. But Nando going to come in, get a kill, but Nando's just going to get forced out by either Cinderace or Palafin. Cinderace will come out here, get a U-turn instead. Take a bunch of chip, go into Zapdos or Ferrothorn. They can't, not Ferrothorn, that doesn't exist in SV. Fortress. Ferrothorn would be rather good in SV though, if it did exist, but now I have a bit of a dicey position where Nando's actually going to do quite a lot. I would maybe have wanted Lando to stay in again just to net the kill, but this one's just go for the rock slide. So Palafin, not going to. Oh no, Palafin won't come in on Vaporeon. Zapdos comes in Vaporeon, just saying. If you do net the kill onto Nando, you can just bring Palafin in that range. You can get a Jet Punch off, and that is a very, very easy kill. Nando's should still be a fairly easy game to play out at the end because you have this paralysed Iron Treads. This Palafin's in an amazing position, and you have just managed to sack it off versus Landorus, which is. I'm not entirely sure why the decision was made to sack off the Palafin in this position. You're thinking, well, I need Zapdos for the Valiant, but you also kind of have a faster than Valiant Cinderace. So you could technically be using this for Val. Maybe you want to keep that for Treads, but it's very easy to be able to beat Treads with Zap here. So yeah, I mean, depends. If you consider the Cinderace to be more valuable here, I suppose. But I feel like you want to save the Zapdos plus Palafin instead of making this play. But yeah, it really comes down to what you decided to keep. Because this could also win endgame, to be fair, as well, based on the moves it has. Because a Pyro Ball should just be able to net the kill here. The problem is Pyro Ball's 90 accurate, so I'm not sure I would have actually decided to go for something like that here. I do imagine that Roxanne maybe didn't kill Palafin from this range, maybe they lived on a little bit of health, so that's perhaps why they went for the Earthquake play on the U-turn, or even on the Roost, although I don't think you're roosting here, so it's basically on the U-turn play. You turn back out. I think Zapdos with boots versus the most valiant sets, especially when it's not actually running offensive items, should just be able to get the kill here. Though you do have to get that Hurricane to hit more or less. Discharge, go for the actually discharge is absolutely fine. That basically guarantees the end game. They had to make this treads play the turn before because otherwise you won't actually get what's his face? Because you can't really let Cinderace come in for free. Cinderace, if you get chip onto Valiant and then Cinderace comes for free, gets all the kills. Although to be fair, if you land the gunk shot, it's going to happen anyway. But it's a lot safer to click 90% accurate move versus 80% accurate move. That's just the way things are. So. Oh, that's the last. That's just how it goes. But maybe there's a few plays here towards the end where I think Cash might have been able to win out, depending on what happens. I do think the Paladin may be more safer, but I will see, obviously. This ends up not dying because they U-turned out onto the treads, which means you turn back in on this because I think this is too healthy for the Pyro Ball to get their kill on. They'll probably try and get Earthquake or even just get full power here. Zapdos now has an opportunity to roost up. Of course, if you do decide to roost, there's a bit of danger, but Heat Wave gonna just net you the kill. Net you the game more or less because Heat Wave has enough chip to the point where this kills you, you just click Pyro Ball 2 times and you win. Of course, one Pyro Ball miss here and you would have had a bit of a problem, although I don't think Valiant can kill you in one with this set given the Cinderace is on full. So, pretty well played from Rash overall. Definitely close. I think there's some situations here, maybe if a different move had hit, a bit more luck on one side and that might have changed. But that's how it goes. That was about it. That was the first of 3 games from the St. Andrews Cameron series that we're taking a look into today. And we'll move on to Natdex, which I believe now we have the player from the Camerups who did take the win in Natdex. And if you were watching this game, it was a pretty long one. Hello, Empoleon 9000. How are you doing?
I'm good. Feeling lucky.
Yeah, it was certainly a series of all time, at least between the two of your teams, and definitely this game was one to show for it, so to speak. But besides the luck and everything else that we can get into later on in the game, as that starts happening around the turn 90 mark. I don't remember the exact turn that it was on, but it was getting a little bit later in the turn count. But just off of team preview or prep, what were your thoughts?
So there was a Florges from my bundle. So I bought a Taunt bundle so that I could hit a Hydro, Taunt on their Wish, and then flip turn out. And then hopefully I break through the Florges with that. Colt was really scary, but I had the T-Tar with Pursuit. So I bought Lumberry because I assumed Will-O-Wisp was the
bring from Colt.
Yeah, it made the most sense out of any Colt.
I mean, yeah, but you've got Gallade Drill plus T-Tar, so it's gonna be a pretty good click on any of those mons. Even mons like Zapdos don't really appreciate being wisped just over time. What that actually means. So it makes a lot of sense. But we can get into the replay. I'll put it on slow for now, and I think later on in the game we're gonna might have to put that on hyper fast. But we'll get into it.
I also bought Air Balloon Excadrill with the because I basically knew that the Gliscor was going to be Earthquake, Toxic, Roost.
Yeah.
Then some fourth move, which could be Rocks, U-turn, Defog.
Yeah, that Air Balloon ends up being pretty important later on as well.
Yes, I think. You affected my decisions a lot. Yeah, I saw forward. So, probably not Defog as the fourth.
Yeah, because you expect the spin on the Fortress.
Yeah, so I was just... Aim was to scout the Gliscor set. And then, try not to lose to Urshifu in the meantime. If I remember correctly, this Zapdos outsped the Urshifu.
Were you running a lot of speed, or was that just the Urshifu not running much speed then?
No, I ran 3:18.3 on Zapdos or whatever I needed to outspeed the faster Shifu, I think. Should probably check this. Yeah, I didn't bring Hello Momola, which would have helped with the Urshifu. I can't really remember why. Maybe Swords Dance was a problem.
Yeah, I guess revealed here on Lade, of course.
Yes, I'm doing a lot of Swords Dancing and then switching.
Yeah, seems to be a bit of a pattern throughout this game.
Right, yeah, so I saw Gyro Ball on the Fortress, which was weird. It didn't actually kill my Gallade in full.
Yeah, I wouldn't do. I mean, it's a decent chunk, but it's still coming off a Fortress, so not a huge amount. Especially when you have such a good switch into that move too. You can just chilly out into bundle here, lay off a move, but alas, it's bundle.
Yeah. That's Hydro miss.
Yeah.
Would have been nice. I think I so I don't want to reveal Torn unless I've missed the first Torn already, but I thought letting them rush isn't too bad here. I don't want them to Moonblast when I Torn. Yeah, early game's mainly just scouting. Too much to talk about.
Yeah, that's the way that Dex is sometimes, especially with the sheer amount of ones you have. You get a lot of very bulky mons, Paldea obviously being a much more offensive format. You can kind of play out these games a lot in that deck. Sometimes it just happens when you have about 20 to 40 turns of just sort of bumming around for positioning, which is as it should be, but that's how it goes.
Second Hydro miss. Not great. But yeah, Hero Viltorn, because I don't know if something else is lower, I can't remember. But I just felt like stopping the wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't switch, so I know they're moon
It also means, of course, if they're running something like Baton Pass, you're stopping that momentum from coming through as well.
Yeah, that might have been it, actually. So I think everything's at full.
Yeah. I mean, you can get momentum off of this, basically, or on the back of it, so...
I did have Ice Beam on Slowking, so I don't know if I should have clicked it earlier. But like chilling to bundle felt good if a single Hydro hit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it comes down to sometimes.
At least it's always safe. So it's my comfort click.
Yeah. Get a T-Wave on for the Forgers, always nice to have. Yellow Magic. Going to be the theme of this game later on, as we'll see.
So again, I could have Ice Beamed, but
yeah.
Chilly to bundle again. But with this Paralyzed Forges, I really should be able to break through with bundle here. Again,
Or you get
like
third miss.
So yeah, I'm not specs, so it should do like 30. I think it was Vizdev Forges.
Yeah.
Maybe even like 35. Then with lefties that's 30 anyway. So.
Yeah, plus process making less reliable to wish, just would have been very nice there. Toxic gets eaten up a draw.
Here I still don't know if, or do I know it's rocks already? From the Earthquake I know that the Gliscor can't touch this draw.
Mm-hmm.
The Earthquake is very free to clear. Which made me less inclined to go for the bundle game plan.
Yeah.
Of breaking through the forges. Instead just trying to get Earthquakes off.
Yeah. Lands a Hurricane. Can't land a Hydro, but you learn the first Hurricane at least. Thankfully.
Which is a massive problem. I didn't really find a good answer for this in prep.
I mean, Mega Maul is one of those mons that just does that amount of damage sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily
So,
good switching.
in comes this Gallade set, which is something.
Ah, I see.
It was easy to live this. But then I kind of forgot about Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch, yeah. So just have to go for the sneak there anyway.
Yeah, it wasn't even like sneak was the plan. I just yeah. So that was good. At least it's not huge power anymore.
Yeah, which means Streaming Drill comes into this anyway, to be fair, but at least they can't really punch on that. And, well, they could if they really wanted to get rid of the balloon, but that's probably not something you do when you're switching.
Let's go to the body press. I want to defog these. And I guess that this isn't too important here.
Although you get a very important static power onto this, which I think maybe you probably will, but you would have got the T-Wave on anyway later with Slow King, but at the very least it gives you a turn here where they're not able to move.
Yeah, I assume it was well switching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it lets me get the rocks off.
We'll try and speed this up a little bit, because it does go on for a little bit. It's turn 40 right now, so I'm actually going fast. And then we'll
I get the U-turn on the fault, which really helps. It means I don't really have to think, I can just proceed twice.
Yeah.
And I think that was specs.
I mean, you're happy with basically getting that one there and even just getting the EQ onto Morwell. Does live though.
Yeah, I was slower, which is probably my main mistake.
But then you get the very lucky static there on top of the full power.
So then I reveal Ice Beam.
Which resets the Fortress, and
at this point I don't really know how to win.
And here we go. So this is where the moving around starts. I mean, Eerie Spell actually just reducing PP further. Does help a little bit, but I'm not sure really how much it came into.
I was trying to chip this damage price for the drill to kill it. I don't know if I should have wasted the Eerie Spells because of the PP wall.
Yeah.
But I think, in hindsight, if they just stay in with Fortress...
Or was they need to pop that balloon, really, I think, is what it comes down to, because then Gliscor can actually touch the drill.
I also wasn't sure if Gliscor outsped drill. Because all I know was it was like around 50 Spadev, which fits with both, which fits exactly with.
Very fortunately, there you get full power.
Yeah, so many of these are important, but also so many of them are not important.
Yeah.
There were just so many powers. I think I should have just Sword Stance on the Forges at some point. Because there were times when they clicked Baton Pass. So I had extra mind game odds as well, I guess.
Yeah, especially if they get full powered on that, obviously they need to break the balloon before they can leave.
But basically every time I could kill the Forges, I just assumed they were going to go for Fortress.
Yeah.
At least post-Wish. I think that was the big thing. I should have Sword Stance before.
Yeah, I mean this turn obviously they get the Wish here onto Gliscor.
Which also means I think I need the Sword Stance to kill.
Yeah.
Or I might not even kill it +2.
Unless you get an Ice Beam snipe onto it with Slow King. Which even then, if it gets to 100%, you're not going to get, based on the damage earlier, I think.
Yeah, at this point, after they've wished back Fortress, I think they can just rapid spin 64 times and win. Because I just can't.
Yeah, that's what I think I was thinking when I was looking at this. I was just like, well, I think if they kept staying with Fortress, I think they were fine. Because you couldn't actually kill it with the Slow King at that point.
No flame for sleep.
Yeah. But there's that balloon pops, that happens there, and now Gliscor can suddenly actually touch the drill if you get that in, but they decide to EQ versus, so we'll bring it back a few turns. But yeah, this turn here actually, not this one, hold on. No, it was that one, wasn't it? No, I've gone to 57 actually now, hold on.
There's been a problem with like
I love replays.
last turn button in the replays for a while. It goes back like 50 turns. Yeah, at some point
That we did see that earthquake happen. If we could try and get to it, maybe. So you get the
So I
kill
don't-
back onto
I don't really
Glycol.
catch it in the switch, right?
No, here it was. Oh, for God's sake, yeah. Right, yeah. So then they go into Glycol. You
But
already
they
had
vote.
this out, and then you ice beam them. They get the EQ off, which this was just a huge. I think this was a mistake off of Storm's side, really.
I think they said they misread the count.
Yeah,
Yeah, previously it did like 95, so it must have been a roll.
yeah. So it must have been a yeah, it was a roll. Because obviously it did 95.
By the
Yeah.
way.
And now suddenly you still have a problem because there's an 84% fortress at this point.
Yeah. I haven't really improved my position.
And if you look here, you've got 9 ice beams left. Not that ice beam does particularly much, and it's parried anyways. There's no chance of you freezing it. Of course,
Yeah,
promise
or
you
he
can't
pressed
stay
the
in.
ultra.
Yeah.
So I just got to hope they at some point go forges, allowing
There's the
access.
sword stance, but of course you just won't be able to. I do wonder though if it was actually ever worth like in the position where you oh my word. There is a position where you click the sword stance button, and I wonder if just hard queuing for the chip when they switch out into fortress is actually maybe getting you a bit of a better position.
Yes, I think because they misplayed and went for forges,
Yeah,
I got the extra turn.
yeah, it's here.
But once they figured out just to keep fortress in forever, I lost that extra turn. So I needed an extra power.
Yeah, or we'll see how this ended up coming to win, but if I am not mistaken, that turn you could have done basically executed the same thing, and actually would have been better odds because you didn't have the extra. Well, you didn't need the
It
extra
was
power
just
turn.
one turn better.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just hadn't realised yet.
but here it comes. USD, they get full power. They get full power, and then you get the win off of that. The double full power there.
I'm not sure if Ironhead was better on the fortress.
No, Ironhead was never revealed actually, despite.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
EQ did like 64 and it was at 80, so
Yeah.
maybe the flinch chance was better. But yeah, I just got really lucky at the end. Just got really unlucky at the start, so
Yeah. No hydro hits.
yeah, that was really. I put us 2-0 up, so that was really good.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
of that.
I mean, came in very handy, of course, because there's only a 3-2 victory in the end.
Yeah, it's hard to know if it would have changed or anything.
Yeah. I mean, you never really do when it comes to series like this.
But yeah.
Where's Mons?
1 minute or something, I think it was calced at.
Yeah.
Guild still in. So yeah, fun times.
Oh well, congratulations on the week, of course, and the win, and good luck, of course, going into this week of playoffs. All the best.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Great stuff coming on. All right, we're going to move on now to the next game, which will be the Ubers one. And this was, yet again, very important for the camera-ups, because without this one, they would not have won the week either, because this was at the point where they were 2-2, I believe. And both teams were 2-2. This was the final game, and this was the deciding game. Hello, I believe our friend has arrived. Coco, is it Kokob or is it Kokobi?
It's Coco.
Coco. Okay. Well, how you doing? Good?
I'm good, how are you?
Great, amazing. Just get into this, of course. Very big game for you guys. Congrats on the week win. What were your thoughts coming to prep? Just facing this, of course, this was the big Primal Kyogre mirror matchup.
Yeah, we had like a Primal Kyogre Lele matchup, and I guess I had Mewtwo and they had Deoxys, so it was kind of like similar drops. I think in prep we were just very scared of Deoxys attack.
Yeah.
Just like hitting things and me not really having a good answer, so that's kind of why Skuntank is here. And then Umbreon wasn't originally gonna come. We had Mewtwo. But then it was kind of like Sableye was also becoming a problem, so then Umbreon kind of fitted in because it kind of helped check. It was like kind of a backup counter to Deoxys, and it helped like play mind games with Sableye's like Magic Bounce and Synchronize. So I ended up bringing that instead. But yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, you can get to trap things with Skuntank. I mean, Umbreon just generally being a pretty defensive presence, you can always pass wishes out onto other mons as well.
Yeah.
But we'll get started with replay. I will start off in slow, but I don't remember this one being like too long, so we'll see how it goes.
No, it's pretty fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we decided to, I guess, lead Lando because actually that was the game plan if they had Deoxys to set up rocks, but I switched to Salamence here expecting like a Will-O-Wisp, and then like, I had Facade, so that would just do big damage.
Sure.
But they knocked off, but that was also safe, I guess, for me.
Yeah,
Here I get like a free baton pass. And yeah, I guess I brought Fizzpugger here because Earthquake with like just water damage was pretty good into their team. And I guess yeah, here they're expecting special, and the Earthquake just does a lot of damage. The fourth move on Kyogre was Thunder Wave. But initially it was actually supposed to be Rest because Umbreon had Heal Bell. But I actually forgot to change it right before the game started. But Thunder Wave actually came in clutch. So,
yeah, it ended up working out, I would say. Pretty damn well.
But yeah, once I switched Umbreon here because I expected them to Thunder, but when they clicked Surf, I kind of was like, the only thing I could do was go back into Kyogre and hope that they didn't have it. And then they didn't, so it worked out. And then this Thunder Wave was kind of huge as well.
Yeah,
actually, no, the rest. And yeah, I guess that means Kyogre stays healthy. But yeah, now it's just like clicking Earthquake or Liquidation. Either every other turn, something like that.
Yeah, managed to get the rest off here, so Thunder Wave's all gone.
So Arceus comes in for free. I didn't know if they had Sleep Talk or not. But Kyogre my Kyogre wasn't doing much to them, so I had to switch out. Here I was thinking of switching into Umbreon to get themselves toxic, but I decided it's just better to get off the damage here because Sableye is pretty tanky, and maybe I can finish it off later.
Yeah, and if they decide to tox you, they don't get the recover off.
Exactly, and I had Heal Bell on Umbreon, so I wasn't too worried about the toxic. And yeah, this crit also, I guess the extra damage was useful because I guess forced them to stock off.
Yeah.
So I could get free switch into Umbreon. And then I just heal up here.
Yeah, leftovers and Wish.
Yeah.
Oh well, Moonlight. No, I think it was Moonlight. It was Moonlight actually. Yeah, I'm just remembering the replay.
And then yeah, I just Baton Pass here again. Which is I think the Thunder Wave on the turner just really helped because it just could not do anything anymore. Here I went for Liquidation because Glycogen, but also because I was kind of fishing for the defense drop in case they did switch.
But he revealed Thunder here as well, which is going to do a huge amount of damage to Kyogre anyway. I think Earthquake killed from that range anyway, so there's no reason. I mean, might as well click a move that isn't Thunder.
Here I was confused myself. I just clicked Earthquake to kill thing, but I guess the damage on Arceus was pretty useful, and then the defense drop actually helped a lot here because I just started going for liquidations after the Thunder Wave. This forces them out, and then I just get, I think, another free hit.
Yeah, this just knocks out Sableye.
Yeah, and like in mocks, like Sableye was a huge issue because it was just tanking everything. So I think just getting the extra damage throughout the game kind of helped.
Yeah, just managing to weaken them earlier being the main thing.
Yeah, I think this crit was it was like I had a 1/3 chance to kill anyways, but I kind of had Scarf Lando in the back, so I wasn't too worried because Earthquake just kind of kills everything else.
Yeah, lives the judgment anyway, so you just get to fire off some more attacks.
But yeah, I did not expect Kyogre to do this, but it did. So.
Yeah, I mean it was just good prep. Obviously, Primal Kyogre has base 150 physical attack anyway. Because most of the stats they gained off of the primal reversions, they didn't want to make it like a ridiculous nuke. on the special side, so they just gave a load of physical attack. And in this particular case, I mean, when you expect Primal Cleric to be special, which is most of the time it is, right?
Yeah.
You want to use a higher offense stat, but here, of course, then prepping maybe for special defense on the Mons instead, so just being able to run them through with a physical set instead. It's gonna mean that you do a lot more damage.
I just had like ground moves on everything for Eternatus. I just needed to get that. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and of course then T-Wave, even though you want to take it off, allowing Primal Cleric to actually be able to outspeed Mons, play for, you lose a turn here and there, that being particularly large as well. So, yeah, no, well played.
Thank you.
Of course, also good luck going into this next week versus MUCL. Yeah, best of luck in playoffs. I mean, I hope you've enjoyed so far, and see how far you get.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Alright, see you. It's good to have you on. Right. Therefore, we have our next game, which will be doubles. This was St Andrews versus KCL, so not quite the same St Andrews team, but was one of the St Andrews teams nonetheless. And we'll get into this one. This was a pretty interesting doubles game overall, I think. Link, of course, haven't made it all the way to finals last year for KCL, but St Andrews slaying the reigning champions. Of course, we have Lana here to have a little chat about this game. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Just finally good to see St Andrews have a voice on here
Yeah.
compared to the previous games.
Yeah, it's unfortunate with the other team, of course. I think even for you guys, it was a bit surprising that I can't remember. Maybe it was Flora saying in general that the Annihilate percentage ended up being making it.
I'd say generally Sandshrews are probably the stronger team, like on paper, but things have turned out differently.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to try and carry St Andrews to the end.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't be a team tour without upsets, of course. That's why seeding is seeding, but if the teams won as per their order, wouldn't no one would actually want to watch or play the games. So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
But we have your doubles game, and just on team preview, what were your thoughts?
Okay, so team preview, I was caught very off guard because in mocks, like every single mock we did with multiple people, Ferrothorn and Necrozma always showed up. And especially Ferrothorn I was incredibly scared of. And then it's not there. Like, Golem and Moltres I really didn't expect.
Yeah.
However, like, the surprise factor is mitigated by it. It's just like, oh, there's no Ferrothorn. We can kind of cope with it.
Yeah, because I can see some mons that can deal with it. Of course, if you bring like something like Corrosion Glamora, that would also do the trick as well.
Yeah, I did have like, I think 3 super effective moves for Ferrothorn. So like, I was okay against it. However, it still just wasn't a fun matchup if it did come.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those ones that sit on the board for a long time. But we'll get into the matchup.
Yeah, so I just led with Sylveon Glamora because it was what I led in all of the mocks, and it's a nice lead because it just feels kind of free for Mortal Spin Hyper Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I just kind of wanted to scout out what they were doing and get off a Mortal Spin. Imprison was very odd to me, but Mortal Spin, I love Glamora, just spreads poison everywhere.
Yeah.
And something here is that Mortal Spin is the only attack that Golem will take this entire game. So Sceptile comes in, my current MVP does the great job of dying immediately to Golem. But like, yeah, something was dying there, and Sceptile was the least valuable one. And then
Terra Steel Lord, huge amount of power.
Yeah. Then here was just kind of a case of wanting to stall out a little bit. So yeah, get a Spike Shield, get a nice Super Thang off for some chip. And then Glamora's going to do what Glamora does best and spread more poison.
Also revealed there's not Psychic Terrain on the Indeedee as well. Presumably with the help of something like the Mark Punch on Conkelda.
Yeah, that I wasn't too surprised about, just because a lot of things on my team don't actually mind Psychic Terrain.
Yeah.
Like, I had Expanding Force on Miss Slowking, so that's fine. And then Conkeldurr very graciously lets me get up a D-Spike before going down. So that means that, factoring in the Diancie that's going to come in later,
Yeah.
Glamora poisoned 5 of the 6 mons on my team. So, very good Glamora.
Yeah, it's just a huge amount of
Yeah.
damage it racks up over time.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. And then here, I think I tried to hyper voice. However, God forbid women do anything. Sylveon just can't get a break. And yeah, now it's just a case of kind of stalling a little bit, just playing
That's
defensively.
nothing.
Yeah, that's power of Friend Guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go for like the only move I can really go for with Sylveon, which is Yawn on Talonflame, and then I predict the Golem to come in on a Hyper Voice, so I try Mystical Fire it. However, Indeedee has other plans.
Yeah, of course, Indeedee being able to carry that move, but follow me.
Yeah. That's it. So, yeah, Diancie comes in here.
Or just presumably the
Now
Diamond from Tailwind, obviously.
Yeah. I just stall for poison damage.
Yeah, get rid of the
Glamora
Tailwind
getting
too.
more and more valuable every turn.
Mhm.
Yeah. Although Tailwind doesn't really help me that much here, I don't think. So I didn't really care about Tailwind. But yeah. Also, I think a Rock Slide miss happens this turn, which actually might have won me the game. It would have been a close end game, but it was so good. Also, this Golem revealed Life Orb. I hate Life Orb. It's such a bad item. I do not respect it at all. The fact that Golem basically died only to poison and Life Orb recoil is just incredible to me, and makes my hatred of Life Orb even more justified. But yeah, if that Rock Slide hit, then the return would have probably gone on to Slowking, and I wouldn't have got mid-trick from up for a cleaner endgame. I do think I might still have been able to get it out with just King Gambit, just because these two are very low.
Yeah.
But yeah, now it's just a cleanup in the Trick Room.
No, there's nothing that can be done, so... Mons are too low, Talonflame can't really do anything, there's a 1-1 even if it's healthy.
Yeah. I mean, with a good anti-King Gambit set, with, I think it shows Rocky Helmet as it dies. Yeah, Rocky Helmet. So yeah. There was the one Rock Slide miss, but otherwise quite a clean game, I think.
Yeah. No, overall, definitely there. I think you just managed to get... I mean, the Glamora just came in so clutch with the poisons and everything.
Glamora is so good. It's such a good one. I love it so much.
I mean, people realise, like, just
So, yeah.
Mortal Spin being spread being able to poison 2 mons. I mean, I think it's like the first time that things even like T-Spike and Mortal Spin, obviously with how easy it is to get them up onto Glamora. But historically,
Yeah.
obviously, these sorts of things not being particularly great in doubles, but Glamora are one of those exceptions to that rule.
Yeah, like when I drafted Glamora, it was basically, okay, I do not want to worry about hazards at all, and I want to punish people for not worrying about hazards all in one Pokemon. So, and it's done a very good job of that over the last season. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, incredibly high special attack stats. You can throw off nukes with it as well, which is something that's really nice to get to use on the Mon. So, very fun Mon to use. Great in all formats. Definitely something I want to try and use in the future. I've actually yet to use it at all. So one day maybe.
Cool. I've been having fun with it. That double OU stall team that I made. Very fun. But yeah, also like the 3 Mons I got in transactions on the last week, being King Gambit, Sylveon, and Slowking, all very much showing their worth here.
Yeah, because obviously this team was a Mouse Ape team previously of Terra Ape on this.
Yeah, and then Annihilate did nothing. So it was like, okay, I'll get rid of it. But like, and then King Gambit's been insane. The 2 games I brought it to. So
yeah, it's a very similar case. I mean, King Gambit and Annihilate, both Mons and doubles that you really do actually need to like, properly prep for. And some teams simply just don't have the tools to handle either of them.
yeah,
Great with Terra. And without Terra, well, it's a little bit of a different question, but Terra is really what makes those 2 Mons pop. So, yeah, well played, and good luck going into playoffs.
thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's been great to have you on. Alright. We have one more game for all of you today. And that is UCL versus Durham LC. This was a game of course. I don't believe this. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is what secured the win for UCL, because I think they had Nat decks and Paldea decks already sorted by this point, so that wasn't an issue. And then you got the win here, of course. UCL did end up going, well, 5-0 for what it's worth. Technically 4-0 because we had the doubles player play 2 slots. At that point in time, UCL already took the win. So, nothing really came off it here. I'm still waiting for the Jonna to arrive. 10x10 Pine, one of our fellow moderators in Reels. Maybe he'll show up at some point. Hopefully. But yeah. The Combi came, which is something. I mean, this is obviously a bit of a fight. This wouldn't have been the one that actually made the break because we had the Combi Cosmog come. So they must have had double. Yeah, so it would have been doubles, Nat decks, and Pal decks that are already secured. I'm sure. You know. There's been so many games this week that I can't keep track of all of them. But yeah, this must have been again when UCL already got the 3-0. So they just decided to go for the Cosmog Combi. I believe Combi had also come previously into the Grookey week as a check to that. Or as like the best check that they actually have for that. But of course right now just waiting on the player to arrive. I'll wait a little bit longer, otherwise I'll get straight back into things, but yeah, it's definitely been a season so far. Has been the round of 16, going to round of 8 next, which, of course, top 8 teams. Going from 3rd to 16 states. Should be 4 next week to come. I believe a lot of games are actually being played tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow and Sunday, I think it's the weekend more or less. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Always has been the brunt of games and will continue to be so. It's just how it is with draft leagues, of course. It's crazy to think that we've already had 8 weeks of regular season. Was a week of playoffs, 9 weeks, almost 10 weeks going in. The fact that we started so many weeks ago, it's been a pretty fast tour in my eyes. Definitely flown by for me. And yeah, well, I'm still in it, of course, but we'll see how it ends up going. There will be a final stream at some point for all of you still watching. As there was last year, will be live finals, hopefully. We'll try and get the 2 finalist teams to actually be able to come in together for a final stream, if possible. You know, all things considered, I think we managed to schedule 3 to 4 of the games last time on the one day, which was really nice. Mr. 10x10 Pine, aka Reels, aka Mr. Jonna, has arrived. How are you doing?
Hello. That's a lot of nicknames you have for me there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got fakes on your ID as well, so you know there's a lot of them out there. Very notorious person.
Let me grab my paste real quick. Give me a second.
So this was the fun game after you got the 3-0, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I'll grab my paste right away. Give me a sec. Yep. Hello. Here's the paste. If you ever want to look at it.
No, I mean, you know what? There it is for all of you on stream. That should be perfectly fine. Actually, you can't even see a part of it. Look, you know, I can't be bothered to move this because it's not centered. Look, there's Cosmo for you.
Yeah, that's the only important part of the stream. I don't care.
Teleport smash. Bam.
Yep.
Okay, we'll get into this. What were the thoughts on team preview then?
Mm-hmm. My thoughts on team preview. I just wanted to get a kill with Combi. That was my thoughts on team preview. So I led Combi.
Alright, that's it.
No thoughts hit empty. It ran into the worst possible lead. This is the only one that Combi can't survive a hit against. So I have to switch out.
I mean, Cosmo are going to eat that fling up, because of course it's a King's Rock fling. You get a teleport here, I assume.
Yep, and get a teleport here, teleport into Combi again. Probably, this was a misplay. I probably should have gone for Bug Bites, but does it really matter? Bug Bite actually has a chance to Oko allocate, I think, because your choice band hustle.
Yeah.
Wait. And then we get the static, and well, there's the static. The Thunder Punch gets the paralysis, but obviously I was just trying to sack the Cosmog here, but well, he lets us survive, so I teleport out, get in my own Elekid against his Elekid. my own Elekid is a Curse White Herb set. Because, you know, I wanted to set
it's just a bulk up but extra steps.
Yeah, but Elekid doesn't get bulk up,
Yeah, I know.
so I have to use Curse. But here. Here's the Duskull. Obviously tanks 1 hit because it's Duskull and it's very bulky.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it gets up the Trick Room here, yep. Trick
There's
Room
the
and the
Memento.
Memento comes in.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. As Sorlix, I thought it would be either Belly Drum or Calm Mind. It turns out to be Belly Drum. And it gets its Fairy Juice up. I set up another curse here to try and underspeed the Swirlix in Trick Room, but he still is outspeeding me because I'm basically max speed investment.
Yeah, it's
So-
another kid. Yeah.
So my curse gambit doesn't work out there, but this allows me to bring in the one and only Dwebble. My favorite choice span Rock Wrecker set.
Oh my god.
Yes. For people who don't know, Rock Wrecker is 150 base power move that requires 1 turn of recharge.
It is rock type Giga Impact. So
Yeah, no, it has 80% accuracy, so it has less accuracy than Giga.
no, it doesn't.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
I 100%. It is 90.
I mean, that's probably correct.
I'm
Like, I
going
don't
to show
remember
it to you right now.
Honestly, I don't
Hold
remember
on.
it fully.
Change this to. Hold on. I have to prove this.
I believe you.
It
Yeah,
is
okay.
90%. I think stream can see that. No, they can't. Let me zoom out. Use a counter move next turn. 150, 90 accuracy. There we go.
Completely fair.
Okay, back into this.
Back into this, yes, the Stunky gets a Trailblaze up, and he sets up a Nasty Clutch. I have to go for dual wing beat to get damage onto the Stunky. And obviously this is again a choice band hustle dual wing beat, so it's gonna do a lot. I'm pretty sure you can activate Belch. Can you activate Belch off Berry Juice?
I don't believe so.
Sure. Okay, then Oranberry makes sense here then. The Belch doesn't OHKO the Archin, and I go for a Earth Power, which unfortunately does not OHKO the Stunky here.
Defeatist.
So things are looking very dire, but then Belch misses because it's a 90% accurate miss. So I got my Earth Power off against Stunky. The Snivy comes back in. This is going to be the Meteor Beam Archon set. And I'm obviously in Defeatist range, so this does nothing. But it's completely fine.
Yep, that is a bind
Yes,
Snivy.
I have Heat Wave, but again, I'm in Defeatist range, so I do absolutely fuck all. And that's why Earth Power missed the kill just now as well, because I was in Defeatist range.
Yep.
And Earth Power doesn't kill here, which is very unfortunate actually. Like, he gets a Leech Seed off, recovers health. I'm forced to Heat Wave the next turn anyways. Well, no, I just died to bind, but then Double comes in. And I run 2 moves on this double, and that second move is Aerial Ace because Rock Wrecker can miss.
So why not choose a
And
move
because-
that cannot miss?
Sorry?
So yeah, so you chose a move that cannot miss.
Yes. You know, to compensate, you know?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you need to compensate for, you know, a move that can miss by having a move that cannot miss. I think that's complete logical sense, and people should be running Swift more. That's my argument.
I mean,
If you're running Tornado Spherian, if you're gonna run Hurricane, you might as well run Swift alongside of it. I mean,
oh, then Bleak
one
Wind,
move that
Bleak
can
Wind,
miss,
no, I
one
mean,
move
it's,
that
it's
cannot.
you know, Bleak Wind, Storm, and you know, Swift. They're both spread moves after all, so if that's what you're gunning for.
exactly.
Bam. There it is. Secret tech being told to you by one of the moderators there. Moderator secrets.
The choice. Be careful of the choice span Rock Record level in your future weeks. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I mean it's got that sturdy berry juice, so you know it gets it off and it should be able to live afterwards. That's the best part.
Exactly.
Well,
The
thank
choice
you
span-
for. Oh, go on.
Oh no, I do have to say, Choice Span Hustle Kobe actually did more damage than I thought it would. I know it's Choice Span Hustle, and you're basically like budget Rufflet, but like it still did way too much damage.
Very budget Rufflet. But yeah, no, it does do quite a bit of damage. And actually, wait, isn't Combi faster than Rufflet?
Combi is faster actually, yeah. So there's
Okay,
actually a niche for Combi.
maybe we're underestimating Combi now.
Yeah,
For all of
yeah,
the
Combi is
LC
base
players
17.
next time, you know, base, yeah, but no, it's base 17, right? Yeah. So,
I mean, I mean, I have legitimately thought about bringing home beta games. Like, I won't deny that.
Didn't you bring it versus Grookey at some point?
No, I didn't bring it
Okay,
versus
right.
Rookie. I ended up bringing Bird and Purloin instead.
Oh, I see.
It was more funny.
Oh well, you know, that's how it is. But this was definitely a funny game, definitely one to to play during the first week of playoffs. But that's how it goes because you know game diff doesn't matter anymore. So if someone gets a win and there's leftover games during a week, you know, if you want to play a meme game, of course you can. Feel free to. Nothing wrong with that because it doesn't affect standings whatsoever anymore. But yeah, of course, good luck going into next week of playoffs. It was great to have you on, and we'll see how far you go.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Bye. All right. Finally, there is one more thing, and that is this screen, which you've all been seeing, of course. And that one more thing is we still have 3 more rounds of playoffs left. Quarters, semis, and finals. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, there will be a final stream of some variety. Stay tuned for that. We'll bring out some information about what will exactly happen with the final stream. We'll find out close to the time. We don't even know the finalist teams, and we don't know people's schedules yet. So probably won't have information out until the semis are actually completed. So end of next week, around about whenever the team that actually wins gets confirmed. But of course, still got the games to watch this week. Of course, looking forward to those. Hope you guys are, and hope you guys have been enjoying the stream content. That'll be me, Takua, signing off. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time.